Let's begin this session by introducing the feature, CAPA management. CAPA management lets you create and maintain records of the actions that are taken to manage and resolve nonconformities or defects. By planning, tracking, and analyzing CAPA cases, you can develop efficient processes that can also help resolve similar issues. CAPA management provides a formal and controlled process for managing various types of issues that arise from manufacturing, engineering, quality, or data quality sources. CAPA management provides the following benefits. It implements a case management infrastructure for identifying, correcting, and preventing future issues. It leads to corrective and/or preventive actions. It provides a tool that drives continuous improvement. It provides a closed-loop system that meets current good manufacturing practice, CGMP, requirements, and United States Food and Drug Administration, FDA, expectations. Both CGMP and FDA mandate repeatable, systematic failure investigation and root cause analysis. To kick off the functional part of this session, let's take a quick step back and look at the setup that needs to be in place before users can actually work with CAPA. CAPA management is powerful, but it does rely on a few key administrative settings to make sure the process runs smoothly. You'll find these settings under the Inventory and Warehouse Management parameters on the Quality Management tab. Here's what you need to configure. CAPA Administrator. Select the worker who will oversee the CAPA program. This person can automatically be added to CAPA worker groups or set as the default worker for those groups. Use Case Management Workflow. Turn this on to allow CAPA cases to run through the standard case management workflow engine. Require CAPA type. Set this to yes if you want users to specify a CAPA type whenever they create a case. Empty case category. Choose the default category assigned to newly created cases. This is required to enable CAPA functionality. Require root cause. Set this to yes if a root cause must be entered when a CAPA case is closed. As with a CAPA type, this can be optional if set to no. Copy documents. Decide whether documents attached to CAPA processes should automatically be copied over when new CAPA cases are created. These settings establish the foundation for a controlled CAPA process, so once they're in place, users can confidently begin creating and managing CAPA cases in the system. Let's talk about CAPA worker groups, because they're a key part of how the system decides who does what in the CAPA process. Worker groups let you bundle users together so you can assign an entire group to a CAPA stage or activity instead of picking individuals each time. The system then uses those groups to validate assignments and make sure the right people are involved at the right steps. Each worker group can also have a default worker, someone the system falls back on if a specific worker hasn't been assigned. And whenever a CAPA case, stage, or activity becomes active for a worker or group, the system automatically sends out an email notification so nothing gets overlooked. Each CAPA worker group has a few important settings. Allow any member to change stage. Turn this on if everyone in the group should be able to move a CAPA case to the next stage. Turn it off if only selected group members should have that permission. Implied member of this worker group. Use this setting if you want the CAPA administrator from the inventory management parameters to always be included in the group automatically. This avoids extra maintenance when the administrator changes. Default worker. Select this if the CAPA administrator should also serve as the default worker for the group. In the Worker Assignment Fast tab, you can add the individual users who belong to that group. For each member, you can configure Allowed. If the group is not set to allow all members to change stages, you can choose which specific workers are permitted to move cases forward. If the group does allow all members, this option is disabled. Default worker. If the group doesn't already have a default worker at the group level, you can mark a specific member as the default. The default worker is used whenever a CAPA case is created or when it moves to the next stage. Email. The worker's email address. The system uses it to send notifications whenever a CAPA case, CAPA process stage, or CAPA process activity assigned to that worker becomes active. It ensures the responsible person gets alerted right away. CAPA categories give you a simple way to group similar types of issues, which makes it much easier for people to find relevant past cases or knowledge articles when the same kinds of problems pop up again. Organizing cases this way also feeds into the trending analysis by category feature, which helps managers see whether certain issues are occurring more or less often over time. Each category also has a subcategory type, which lets you further classify the issue. Dynamics365 includes several built-in options: none, customer, vendor, and product, as well as a user-defined option for organizations that want more detailed or customized classifications. When you choose the user-defined type, users can pick from a set of custom subcategories when they create a CAPA case. CAPA processes are structured, step-by-step workflows that help you manage and resolve CAPA cases from start to finish. Each process is made up of sequential stages, and every stage can automatically generate the activities your team needs to complete. When you create a new CAPA case, you simply choose which CAPA process should guide it to completion. On the CAPA processes page, you'll see a list of all existing processes. Each process has an approved setting that determines whether it can be used in case management. While you're still designing or adjusting a process, keep this setting at No. Once everything is ready, switch it to Yes, so users can select it when creating CAPA cases. From the action pane, select Details to open the page where you define your stages and activities. You can create stages and activities from the menu. Start by creating a stage, and then add any activities that belong to it. To create a stage, select Create Level from the drop-down list. Activities can be actions, appointments, tasks, or events. They work in similar ways, but offer different scheduling options. Each stage lets you add notes to guide users through the workflow and assign a worker group or a specific responsible worker. You can also choose who should be notified by email when the stage becomes active. If you want automatic updates, you can enable email notifications when the stage is closed or reopened. Stage information can also be included in the printed CAPA report if needed. If the stage includes required activities, you can enforce completion by turning on the option to check for required activities. When this is enabled, all activities marked as mandatory must be completed before the stage can be closed. When you add an activity to the stage, you can mark it as required by turning on the required field. If the parent stage is checked for required activities enabled, all mandatory activities need to be completed before the stage can be closed. You can also configure scheduling details such as days before start-end, depending on the activity type. Notification settings work the same way they do for stages, and activities inherit their parent stage's settings unless you choose to override them. To get started quickly, you can load a set of standard CAPA processes and worker groups from a template. You can use the standard records as provided or customize them to fit your specific requirements. To load the template, go to Create Standard CAPA Process Templates in the Setup menu. Loading the template is simple. Set Load to Yes, and select the name of the template you want to load. Now let's walk through the setup of supporting reference data you can add to CAPA cases. This information plays an important role because it helps classify cases consistently, strengthens data quality, and enables clearer reporting and analysis. By defining this data upfront, you ensure that every CAPA follows the same structure and that insights gathered later are more reliable and actionable. CAPA resolution types let users select a resolution reason when they resolve a CAPA case. You can use CAPA resolution types to identify and categorize typical reasons why CAPA cases can be resolved. CAPA sources let users select a source for each CAPA case. You can use CAPA sources to track the source of each case, such as internal audit, external audit, or ad hoc testing. You can categorize a CAPA case by selecting one of the predefined CAPA types. For example, you might classify a case as a process deviation when a required production step wasn't followed, or as a customer complaint when a validated issue is reported by a customer. You can set up major and minor classification codes to describe the severity or impact level of each CAPA case. By assigning a major or minor code, teams can quickly understand the significance of the issue and apply the right level of attention. These classifications help standardize evaluations across cases, support consistent decision-making, and strengthen trend analysis by distinguishing between high-impact problems and lower-risk deviations. CAPA root cause codes help users identify the underlying reason behind an issue so the CAPA case can be resolved accurately. Using predefined supporting data ensures every case is evaluated consistently and strengthens both corrective actions and long-term trend analysis. For example, a user might select equipment not calibrated when a measurement device is found out of calibration during inspection. By choosing this predefined code, the system captures the root cause in a structured way, making it easier to analyze similar issues across multiple CAPA cases. The CAPA case workspace gives you one place to create, view, and manage all CAPA cases in the system. It's organized into tabs that let you quickly browse different lists of cases and activities, such as the ones assigned to you, cases that are still open, or activities that are due this week. You can also search for CAPA cases connected to a specific entity such as customer, vendor, or sales order, making it easier to track work across related records. From the workspace, you can jump straight into case details, update the status of a case or activity, move a case to its next stage in the process, and handle many other common tasks without leaving the page. In the statistics section, you can quickly get an overview of how many cases you have across different dimensions, such as status or who opened them. You also see trend analyses that break down cases by product, vendor, customer, or process, depending on the dimension you select. This gives you a clear picture of where issues occur and how they evolve over time. Now, let's walk through a quick demo of CAPA management in action. In this scenario, a CAPA case is created directly from a production order on production line 3 after a technician notices unusual vibration coming from a conveyor belt and reports the issue. After creating the case, the worker will set the CAPA case in progress. The purpose of the first activity, identify the problem, is for the assigned worker to begin investigating the issue. Guided by the instructions in the description field, the worker examines the situation to determine the exact nature of the problem. Once the problem has been identified, the findings are documented in the resolution field. The worker now completes the step. The worker can now move the case to the evaluation stage. In the evaluation stage, a risk assessment is carried out. The assigned worker evaluates the issue as low risk. All corrective actions have been confirmed as effective and the equipment is running within normal parameters. The issue has therefore been resolved with no product impact, and the CAPA case is now closed. That wraps up the walkthrough of the CAPA management feature. With this capability, you can streamline issue resolution through guided workflows, drive consistent root cause analysis, and strengthen traceability across corrective and preventive actions, all directly within Dynamics 365. Try it out using your own production issues and quality events, and see how it helps standardize problem solving while improving long-term quality performance. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more updates.